Luis, Basukkah, מוארת וירוקה, על כן היא עסוקה היום.
Welcome back to our game show, Srulik Basukkah. Our first Ushpizin graduated from Tanbomchat in 1980 and came back to teach here in 1986. He won $3,000 on a TV game show. Jackpot, what was the money question?
It was a collection of money.
So
there were many riddles that were asked, and every time you answered a riddle, more money would go into the jackpot.
What was your favorite riddle?
Oh my God, you know how many years ago this was? 1985, so I don't actually remember the riddles.
Now he also has the autograph of famous golfer Jack Nicklaus. How did you get his autograph?
So I've always loved Jack Nicklaus. He was my boyhood idol, and I would go to follow him at the Canadian Open. And so one year, after his round, I went up to him and he signed my scrapbook that I keep of Jack Nicklaus.
Are you going to be visiting his new club when it opens that he designed?
I would really like to.
All right, fantastic, and thank you very much. This is Mr. Stallman. And our second Ushpizin played football for the Guelph Griffins University team. Woo. He cycled through Europe for 2 years, but left his bicycle at his workplace at Kibbutz Ma'abarot. What did you do on the kibbutz, Mr. Fishbone?
Pardon?
What was your job at the kibbutz?
Oh, Abadati Berefet. I worked in the Refet milking cows.
And he's also an official member of the International Brotherhood of Magicians. Can you show us a quick trick?
Absolutely.
That is very fitting. A fantastic trick.
$1 is $1 store. Fun for a whole lifetime.
And again, this is none other than Mr. Fishbone. Let's start with a warm-up question for Mr. Stahl. What is your favorite Israeli food? Is it A, shakshuka, B, falafel, D, shawarma, or C, bamba?
I'm going to go with the boring answer, falafel, B.
Now, there wasn't necessarily a wrong answer, yet you managed to find one. And Mr. Fishbone, what's your favorite Israeli food?
Shakshuka.
That's solid. It's better than falafel, but the correct answer we were looking for was shawarma. Before we move on to the next question, Mr. Stahl, I know that you're a Vikings fan, and they've started the season 0-3. How are you feeling about that?
I'm not pleased, but as I just mentioned, I have a favorite team in the AFC and the NFC, and my AFC team is the Raiders, who are 2-1, so that's not bad. Derek Carr all the way.
Derek Carr all the way. Moving on to the next question. This time we'll start with Mr. Fishbone. What do you think about the peace agreement between Israel, the UAE, and Bahrain?
Wait a minute. You asked Mr. Stahl about football, and then you asked me about
Mr. Fishbone,
for peace.
you have more questions coming to you.
Okay.
Now we're going to move on to our official question here. What do you think about the peace agreement between Israel, the UAE, and Bahrain?
Listen, I'm all for peace. I just pray to God that we'll have peace in my lifetime.
And Mr. Fishbone, seeing as we asked Mr. Stahl, what's your favorite football team?
The Toronto Argonauts.
And how about in the NFL?
The Bills.
Is that such a thing? NFL. I think I've heard of that. Actually, I'm a Buffalo Bills fan.
Mr. Stahl called that. And Mr. Stahl, what's your opinion on this peace agreement?
Any peace agreement, Mitchell, between Israel and its Arab neighbors, I believe is positive, so long as its Arab neighbors are serious about peace. So, for example, with Egypt, it's lasted a long time. It's made a huge difference for Israel to have peace with such a powerful Arab country as Egypt. So I'm just hoping that the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain are also as serious as Egypt has been.
Mr. Fishbone, what is the magic that brought you here today?
Zoom.
I haven't heard of the magic trick Zoom, but I hope I can witness it soon. Now we'll move to the challenge portion of our interview here. Taking turns, name an Israeli gap year program. Keep going until one of you pauses for 5 seconds or repeats a program with the same name as one that was used. This time we'll start with Mr. Stoll.
The Israel experience at Bar Ilan.
We'll give
Aardvark.
Mr. Fishbaum a bit more time because he has trouble
He
hearing.
just said.
Aardvark.
IDC at Herzliya.
Opan.
Yeshivat Lev HaTorah.
Yeshiva.
Oh, I know. I'm going to next year. And now it's time to check who shakes the lulav better.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does look like a good one.
We're shaking the lulav now.
Shaking the lulav,
Up and down.
back and forth,
Take it into the sukkah now.
into the sukkah,
All 7 days.
but not on Shabbos.
I got the 4 species.
Oh, very good technique there. Thank you guys for showing us how you shake your lulav and etrog. Mr. Fishbaum, I'm not sure about the halacha regarding a broom and a lemon, but I love the enthusiasm. Thank you for joining us here on Srulik Basukkah. After many seasons, tireless effort by our cast and crew, we thank you, the viewers, for staying with us. And thank you again to Mr. Stoll and Mr. Fishbaum for being great contestants here today.
Empty toe.
Yellow
I got a bumpy little S-robe now.
sets
You know it looks so fine.
smells so good.
It's gonna make some tasty jelly, yeah.
Spice,
But during Sukkot, you're mine.
I know you're mine.